The Galactic Council chamber gleamed with bioluminescent panels that pulsed in rhythm with the heated debate. Anna Chen stood at the center of the circular platform, her diplomatic credentials projected in holographic light above her head. Earth's first interstellar diplomat, she had spent 3 years navigating the treacherous political waters of the Council, earning respect through patience and strategic brilliance. Today, that respect meant nothing. "The human representative will surrender herself immediately," declared Ambassador Vexther, his crystalline carapace reflecting the chamber's amber light. The Krillian diplomat's mandibles clicked with satisfaction. Evidence of conspiracy against the Council is irrefutable. Anna's expression remained calm, though her heart hammered against her ribs. The charges were fabricated, she knew it, and half the Council knew it too. But knowledge and proof were different currencies in galactic politics. Behind her, David Torres shifted his weight almost imperceptibly. To the untrained eye, Earth's diplomatic security chief appeared relaxed, his hands clasped loosely behind his back. But Anna had worked with David long enough to recognize the coiled tension in his shoulders, the subtle calculation in his dark eyes as they tracked every delegate in the chamber. "Ambassador Vexther," Anna said, her voice carrying through the chamber's acoustic systems, "I respectfully request the opportunity to address these accusations before any action is taken. The Alliance Charter guarantees every member species the right to—" "The Charter," interrupted Councillor Jean, the Pelurian observer whose species held considerable sway over trade routes, "does not protect criminals. Security forces take her into custody." 6 armored figures emerged from the chamber's peripheral corridors. Their armor bore the insignia of the Council Guard, theoretically neutral enforcers, but Anna recognized the Krillian design modifications on their weapons. Vexther had prepared for this moment carefully. David moved. He didn't draw a weapon. He didn't raise his voice. He simply stepped forward, placing himself between Anna and the approaching guards, and something in the chamber's atmosphere changed fundamentally. "Gentlemen," David said quietly, the word carrying a weight that made the guards hesitate, "I'm going to have to ask you to stop right there." The lead guard, a hulking Bronthan whose species was known for their combat prowess, actually paused. There was something in David's stance, a predatory stillness that triggered ancient survival instincts across species lines. "Stand aside, human," the Bronthan growled. "Your diplomat is under arrest by order of the Council." David's smile was thin and entirely humorless. "See, that's where we have a problem. My job description is pretty specific. Protect Earth's diplomatic personnel from all threats, foreign and domestic. And right now, you 6 qualify as threats." Vexther's mandibles clacked with amusement. 1 human bodyguard against 6 council guards and the authority of this chamber. Your species' capacity for self-delusion is remarkable. "You might want to check your intelligence briefings more carefully," David replied, still not moving, still blocking access to Anna with nothing but his presence. "Specifically, the parts about what humans did before we joined the galactic community." Anna watched the calculation ripple through the chamber. Most species had achieved spaceflight through gradual technological evolution, discovering faster-than-light travel before developing weapons of mass destruction. Humanity had taken the opposite path. They'd learned to kill efficiently long before they learned to travel the stars. The Bronthan guard took another step forward. David's hand moved to his hip, not to a weapon but to a small device on his belt. He pressed a single button. Throughout the chamber, holographic displays materialized, showing real-time tactical data, defensive positions, weapon trajectories, structural weak points. In less than 2 seconds, David had mapped every potential threat and countermeasure in the room. "Here's what's going to happen," David said, his voice conversational but carrying an edge that made even the veteran guards tense. "You're going to step back. Ambassador Chen is going to present her defense, as is her right under the Charter, and we're all going to handle this like civilized beings. Or, he let the word hang in the air. Or what? Vexter demanded. You'll start a war. Your Earth doesn't have the fleet strength to. Who said anything about fleets? David interrupted. He tapped another control, and the holographic displays shifted to show schematics of the Council station itself. This station has 47 critical life support nodes. I've identified 12 that, if disabled in the correct sequence, would create a cascade failure in exactly 4 minutes and 18 seconds, long enough for evacuation pods to launch, short enough that you wouldn't be able to stop it. The chamber erupted in shocked chittering and protests. You wouldn't dare, Counselor Jean hissed. The diplomatic consequences would be Earth's problem to deal with, David agreed. But here's the thing about humans, Counselor. We have this peculiar trait in our psychology. We tend to protect our own, even when it's not strategically optimal, especially when we think someone's being railroaded by a kangaroo court. Anna touched David's shoulder lightly, a subtle signal. He glanced back at her and she saw the question in his eyes. She gave the smallest shake of her head. Not yet. Let the moment breathe. You're bluffing, Vexter said, but there was uncertainty in his translated voice now. David reached into his jacket slowly, deliberately, and withdrew a small data chip. This contains every piece of evidence proving Ambassador Chen's innocence, along with documentation of Krillian intelligence operations aimed at destabilizing Earth's Council membership. I acquired it 3 days ago from one of your own operatives, Ambassador Vexter, a gentleman named Kaleth who became very cooperative after I explained certain discrepancies in his expense reports. The Krillian ambassador's carapace flushed dark purple, a sign of extreme agitation. If you had evidence, Jean said carefully, why not present it through proper channels? Because proper channels were compromised, Anna said, finally speaking. She'd let David create the opening. Now she would exploit it. 3 council security officers, 2 data clerks, and 1 judicial aide, all receiving regular payments from Krillian sources. David's methods may be unorthodox, but they were necessary. She stepped forward, and David moved smoothly aside, maintaining his protective stance but allowing her to take the lead. The Krillian Empire wants Earth's seat on the Council because they want access to our pharmaceutical research. Specifically, our work on longevity treatments. Ambassador Vexter's clutch mother is dying, and traditional Krillian medicine offers no hope. The chamber fell silent. I was going to offer that treatment freely, Anna continued, as a gesture of goodwill between our peoples. But someone decided that manipulation and false charges were preferable to honest negotiation. Vexter's carapace had turned almost black, exposed, humiliated, and knowing that every word was being recorded for the Council archives. The evidence, Anna said, gesturing to the data chip in David's hand, will be presented to a full tribunal. If the Council still wishes to pursue charges against me after reviewing it, I will cooperate fully, but not with this farce. The senior counselor, an ancient Valdorian whose species had founded the Council itself, raised one crystalline appendage. Security forces, stand down. This matter will be remanded to formal investigation. Ambassador Chen, you will remain available for questioning but are free to return to your quarters. The guards retreated, though the Bronthan leader gave David a look that promised future reckoning. David met it with a slight nod, acknowledgement between warriors. As the chamber began to empty, Vexter approached them. His translator rendered his voice bitter but resigned. The treatment for my clutch mother, your offer stands. Anna studied him for a long moment. David tensed beside her, ready to intervene if this was some final desperate move. It stands, Anna said finally. But the price has changed. Full disclosure of your intelligence operations against Earth, a formal apology before the Council, and support for our infrastructure development proposal in the outer colonies. Vexter's mandibles clicked, a Krillian laugh, though whether from amusement or despair was hard to tell. Humans are more ruthless than we calculated. We're practical, Anna corrected, and we remember that today's enemies might be tomorrow's allies. Your clutch mother will receive treatment. Your empire will receive a valuable lesson in why honesty works better than subterfuge. Everyone benefits. After Vexthor departed, Anna and David walked through the station's corridors toward their quarters. The adrenaline was finally fatting, leaving Anna shaky. "You were really going to blow up the station," she said. "It wasn't a question." "I was really going to protect you," David corrected. "The station thing was mostly a bluff. Mostly. I could have disabled maybe 6 of those nodes before security overwhelmed me. Would have bought you about 90 seconds." He shrugged. "But they didn't know that." Anna laughed despite herself. "You're completely insane." "Maybe," David agreed. "But I'm your completely insane bodyguard. And speaking as your security chief, that little stunt you pulled with the medical treatment. Brilliant. You turned an enemy into a debtor." "Speaking as Earth's diplomat," Anna replied, "your little stunt probably took 10 years off my life. But thank you for disagreeing with them." David smiled, a real smile this time, warm and genuine. "That's what I'm here for, Ambassador. Disagreeing with anyone who threatens you, whether they're criminals, aliens, or the entire Galactic Council." They continued down the corridor, Earth's diplomat and her impossible bodyguard, already planning their next move in the endless chess game of interstellar politics. The Council had learned an important lesson today. Humans might be newcomers to the galactic stage, but they protected their own with a ferocity that transcended species and politics. And anyone who forgot that did so at their own peril.